Hi, hello, and welcome. I'm not going to do long introductions because this episode is very important for me personally. 3 weeks ago, my mother passed away, and last 3 weeks I've been having lots of conversation about death and about life as well. With many people, for some of them, grief is the part of their job. For some of them, grief is something that they just experienced recently. And because I've been struggling with this myself, and apparently if you're here and listening to this video today, you're familiar with grief yourself, maybe that's something that you're going through right now. In this video, I just wanted to create something beautiful and something useful out of the pain that I'm feeling for all these weeks. And I decided to put 5 major things, very practical things that I'm doing myself pretty much every day, just to keep myself together, just to go through this time, just not to be the victim, just not to suffer, but actually to support myself, support my loved ones, and make, I wouldn't say even the best out of it, but make the most positive, grateful, and loving out of it, out of the situation. So, no long introduction as I promised, and let's go to 5 things that I'm doing to overcome grief, to deal with grief, to handle it. I will start with a little story that I've heard in one of the podcasts of Andrew Huberman, that actually he has a very good podcast about grief specifically and how it works in our brain. That what was the most interesting for me, for example, is that we literally have a part of our brain that is responsible for locating our loved ones, people that we care about, in the space. Like just in any moment of time, you know more or less where your loved ones located, where your parents, where your children, when your partner, you know where are they, more or less, in what country, in what place, in what room. And when the person leaves us, your brain is confused because it's trying to locate this person in space, geographically, but it can't. So we feel this anxiety and we feel this confusion because literally a part of our brain is confused. It can't locate the person in the space. So once you understand that this is something so biological and something wired inside of us so deeply, you start to get more compassion to yourself. That you're not crazy, that you're not overreacting, but generally you're going through time when your brain needs to relearn some things that it's been doing for a while. And the story is from the same podcast of Andrew Huberman, is that 2 men were wandering around the desert and they came to the gates of the big ancient city. And on those gates, on the fence, there was lots of dates of life and death of many people. And one man asked another one, I see the dates like 5 days, 7 days, 2 months, 3 years. Why in the city so many children are dying? And another man is answered, those are not children. In this city we have a tradition. Once a person celebrates its 15th birthday, we put a notebook and a pen on his neck. And every moment of time when he feels alive, he writes it down in this notebook. So in the end of his life, we're calculating how much time he actually was alive, and that becomes those numbers on the wall. After this story, I really start to think, is it important how long the person lived? Or maybe it's more important how many amazing moments this person experienced, how many lives this person influenced. So let's come to the practical part. First of all, first and foremost, it's not going to be a surprise for you, but you have to feel it, and it's going to hurt. There is no other way. Escaping grief, trying to run away from it, distracting yourself way too much with work, with taking care of someone else, with going to travel, it's never a good option. It's like postponing something inevitable that you'll have to face anyway. And if you're choosing to keep running away from your grief, if you're choosing to close your eyes and look in a different direction, grief will grow inside of you like a suppressed emotion that you can't face for whatever reason. It will grow inside of you in many different ways, in guilt, in pain, in victim mode, in fear. There were some days when people were asking me how am I doing, and I've been saying I'm fine. But what was actually hidden behind those words is that I'm really struggling, and I'm afraid to let myself jump into this pain because I'm not sure if I can go back on the surface from it. I'm not sure that I can handle it. And by being so real with yourself, by jumping into this grief, by feeling every piece of it, every wave, and it actually comes as a wave. It's not like in the movies. I actually thought that you're just gonna cry for a couple of days and scream and ask God why, and then it'll finish. But no, days and weeks pass, and some days you can be really, really happy. And some days this understanding of your loved one, the person that you loved, is not here anymore. It just hits you like a wave and leaves you breathless. So the best option so far that I found for myself is, as much as I can, give myself time and space to emotionally go through every inch of that pain that I'm experiencing. And by that, actually, I'm remembering this person, because the phrase that I really like is, the amount of your grief is proportional to the amount of your love towards that person. Second thing, it's also a mindset trick that I found very useful for me and for my father as well. I call it the perception shift. Literally, you can't really choose grief. You can't really choose to feel it or not. But what you can choose is to suffer or not. You really can choose not to suffer. And how to do so? When the person passes away, generally we remember the last moments of this person, like last days, weeks, years, whatever was the case, especially if this loss was predictable. If the person was sick for a while or getting older, we remember those moments when the person struggled. In my case specifically, my mom was suffering from addiction for many years, and last 3 years after a very tragic and cruel event happened during the war in Ukraine that she and my dad experienced, her health and her addiction started to decline even more. And I do remember really brightly those couple of years because I put so much time and effort into rebuilding relationship with her. But when loss happened, when grief came into my life uninvited, I understood that I will be crying anyway. The tears are there, the pain is there, it's already there, and I will be crying and I will be feeling pain. But instead of remembering the tough time, instead of remembering the last moments that's generally quite painful, or thinking, what if this person would live all these years? What amazing things could happen in its life? What kind of achievements could happen? Thoughts that most painful for me, for example, my mom would never see my children. She would never see me getting married. Those thoughts are bringing the deepest pain in my heart. And by focusing on those thoughts, yes, I do really suffer a lot. But if I do this little mind trick, and if I choose to remember our greatest moments together, I'm looking at the photographs when we were the happiest, when we were traveling, when she was young and beautiful and full of love and full of health and full of desire to live. I cry anyway because tears are there. But the energy that I'm sending, it's the energy of love and gratitude for all this time that was given to me with my mother, instead of focusing on everything that will never happen and feeling pain and feeling shame and guilt and misery. It's my choice where to direct my attention, to all the negativity that I can find there, and there is a lot. or make an effort and direct this into all of the amazing memories and things that happened. It might be harsh, it might be hard to take, but trust me, I did the same with my dad. That's person already older, and for him it was really hard. But after a couple of days, he called me and he said, Rita, you were right. I'm crying anyway, but when this pain comes to my throat and it's hard to breathe, instead of remembering those last moments that are so painful, I remember all the beautiful moments with her. I remember how loving she was, how fun she was, how happy she was. And I cry anyway, but I cry with the tears of joy, with the tears of gratitude. And it feels right. It feels like you're sending this energy to the soul that's somewhere right now flying above us and hopefully receives all this beautiful energy. Third point is actually very connected to the previous one. It's generally connected to the belief that the energy that you're giving makes an impact. So you know that everyone vibrating, right? So I am energy, your energy, this laptop is energy, and this table is an energy. And we are capable of vibrating on different frequency. So if you will just Google and search different emotion frequencies, you will see that the emotion, the feeling of love and gratitude are really high frequency. And a feeling of guilt or misery, it's a really low frequency. And the low of the energy and of the frequency says that you attract whatever you give. So, for example, if we share and give the energy of love, the energy of gratitude, we actually receive the same. We attract people around us who wants to give us love and energy and support. If, for example, we're full of drama and we're full of pain and we're questioning why, we attract people who's in the same energy and they fuel our pain and expand it even more. The phrase that I really find useful is, what if grief is just love that doesn't know where to go? Imagine that, as I already said before, the amount of love that you had towards this person is the same as the amount of grief that you're feeling right now. So why wouldn't you just find a direction for your grief through the positive emotion of love and gratitude and send it to the world? Me and my friend, who also lost her dad just a couple of months ago, we did a research and we shared this information that in different religions, in Buddhism and Christianity, they all are saying that there is some specific days that mean something after the person passes away. 3 days, 9 days, 40 days, 1 year. And my friend, she said, I was wondering why, like what's so interesting, what's so special about those days? And apparently after the person passes away, first 3 days, the soul is really, really close to the earth, to the place where the person lived, or to the place where the loved ones of this person located at the moment. And the soul is so close to us that we can actually feel it, we can actually sense it. For example, to my friend, a bird were coming to her house for 3 days in a row and behaving like a bastard, kind of like her dad used to. Another my friend saw a butterfly in the middle of the forest in a cold weather. Another my friend saw white feathers everywhere for quite a while. In my case, on a second day after my mom passed away, I was staring at the stars in my garden and I saw a beautiful, huge white owl that I never really saw in the wild, just appearing out of nowhere, flying above my house and sitting on the electric pole right nearby. She turned around, she looked at me for like 15 seconds, and then she flew away also to nowhere. Next day, I googled what the white owl means, or what the owl means in general, and the Google said that owls are the messengers of the soul, and their task is to bring the message that everything is okay. You can believe in whatever you want to believe, but choose beliefs that help you, that serve you. choose beliefs that keep you in the best emotional state possible, because it's your responsibility to take care of yourself, to keep yourself together. We're not talking here about positive psychology, positive thinking, or toxic positivity. It's not about seeing love and gratitude everywhere. No. Definitely there is some controversial relationship. There is some loved ones or some relatives that weren't really good to you. But seeing beautiful things in everything, seeing lessons that you can be grateful for in everything, that's a skill. That's a part of being wise. I really encourage you to take a step back and to look at the situation from a slightly different perspective and try to find something that you can be grateful for, something that you can feel love towards, and share this energy with the world and attract the same into your life. Fourth thing, it's something that I'm doing every day. I'm doing ceremonies. I didn't know why I started to do this, but I guess it's because I felt like I need to do something. The feeling that kills you the most after your loved one passes away is that you can do nothing. The war is over. There is no more person. You can do nothing. You can't help. You can't save. You can't hug. You can do anything. But when we're helping, we feel like we're useful. We feel like we're applicable. We feel like we're in the right place. So what I encourage you to do is to find the ceremony that feels right for you. And when I'm talking about ceremony, I'm not really talking about going to the church and putting a candle. You also can do that if that fits you. What I did, for example, I did more Balinese ceremonies because I live near the ocean and we have tons of flowers here. So I was going to the ocean pretty much every day on the sunset, and I was taking different kinds of flowers on the way, holding them in my arms, talking to my mom, telling her how much I love you or how was my day, kissing the flowers and throwing them into the ocean and letting the water to take them. And I did it not really for her, to be honest. I did it for myself. I've been doing this for 3 weeks, and I will keep doing this for as long as I need it, because I do this for myself. To keep this connection, to keep this memory, to be useful, to do something, to feel better. Because I also have a right to do something to make me feel better. What other type of ceremony you can do? Well, if you don't go to church and you don't have ocean nearby, what you can do is to light the candle in your house every night. And when you do this movement, when you do this action, do this purposely. Do this with intention. You light a candle and you send energy. You light a candle and you remember the person intentionally. With this action, you actually generate and send energy into the world. Another thing that I'm doing is I'm writing messages to my mother. Just really messages in Telegram, or you can use WhatsApp or whatever. Pretty much every morning, I'm just telling her how was my day, what happened, did I miss her, that I was thinking about some philosophical thoughts about life and death, and I just wanted to share it with her. Because same way as you've been talking to your loved ones on a phone or personally, you can keep this connection, you can keep these conversations. It's going to be one-sided, yes, but still, it makes you feel better, and you have a right to feel better. Another thing that lots of psychologists are offering is to write a letter. I also like this practice, especially for people who prefer journaling and writing by hand. Writing a letter makes so much sense, especially if there is some unfinished business with this person. If, for example, you have some unforgiven moments, if you feel like there's been words that you never said and you really want this person to know it, if you feel like there is some emotions that you need to process, and this will help you to take it out of your shoulders, you have a right to do so, and you can write as many letters as you wish. Rituals help our brain to put a mark. It kind of gives us some sort of closure that I did a specific action that means specific thing, and for me it's a closure. And often we are searching for something like this, especially if there were lots of things unsaid. This helps. For me, for example, I did wrote a letter to my mother, even though I said everything that I wanted to tell her many times throughout years. That's a big bonus of having your parents living in the country that's in a state of war. Every phone call can be the last one, so you're kind of rushing to say all the right things every time. But still, I wrote her a full letter, just telling her all the right things. It helps also for you to understand that generally, lots of things don't really matter. Don't really matter. In the end of the day, when the person is gone, what matters is this deep, deep feelings. And nothing really can change it. If you feel love, it's still there. If at some point of your life you were close to your parents or your partner or your kids or someone or your other relatives and friends, and then relationship went wrong, this love is still there. And you can find it. And you can cherish it, nourish it. And you can heal from it. Last one, a little bit more philosophical, less practical, but still, you can choose what to believe in and choose beliefs that serves you well. It's not only about religion. There is a part of religion in this question. You decide what to believe in. If there is a life after death, if our soul leaves the body or there is no souls at all, if there is a heaven or hell, if all of us are just living in simulation and there is no death at all, you decide what to believe in. And I encourage you to ask some bigger questions, not only to focus on the specific loss, not only focus on your own pain, but to ask yourself why this person was present in my life, what this person taught me. Do I believe or feel that this person is still with me in some way? Maybe in a way that I can't even explain, but I feel. Especially in a case when younger people are dying. And of course, it's really hard to take it. It's really hard to process it. But once my mentor said that even if it seems that this person has so much unfinished business and could do so much more in this life, on a grand scale, soul of this person fulfilled its purpose. Because no one leaves without fulfilled purpose, whatever this person purpose is. No one leaves without some part of this person agreeing to leave. This is something hard to take. Even for me sometimes, it's hard to take. Because we all wish our loved ones were with us forever. But I feel that one of the major lessons that going through grief gives us is that everything has an ending. Our life will have ending as well. It reminds us how important to focus on the right things, how important to value the time that you're given, because no one knows how much time we actually have. It reminds us that it's actually amazing to love someone so much, so then you can experience having so much pain and grief when they're gone. That shutting down your heart and being afraid of feeling this pain again is not the answer. That keeping your heart open, be vulnerable, and go through this highs and lows, love so much, and then be in such a deep pain. That's the point of life, to experience, to feel, to learn. Another controversial thought that I also want to leave here. If some part of you is actually happy that the person passed away, I know it's hard to take, but hear me out. In my situation, because my mom was suffering of addiction, with the time her body started to be really sick and her body became a cage for her soul. It couldn't stay that vessel to enjoy life, to experience life. She was trapped in it. So from some perspective, from some point of view, there is a part of me that consider this as getting free. There is a part of me that's happy that she got free, that she didn't suffer more, that she was not in pain. And I also encourage you, if you can, look at this part of you that might feel happy for the person that got free, that understands maybe that even though we never want our loved ones to leave us, but in some situations, in some way, it was the best way possible. And if you will find this part in you, I want you to know that you're not broken, that you're not evil, and it doesn't mean that you didn't love this person. It's always like this. As developed human beings, as emotional human beings, we have many parts within ourselves. And it's okay to feel sad, a little bit happy, and confused, and scared, and angry, and all at the same time. And each of these emotions has a place and right to be. I don't know if you're going through grief right now, or you're just interested in the topic, or for some reason you decided to listen to this video today, but whatever you're going through, whatever your situation is, I really hope that you found something useful in this video. I really hope that you heard something that you needed to hear. And if you need some support and love right now, I am sending all of the love and all of the support that I'm able to share to you, because you deserve to be happy. You can enjoy life, even going through grief and pain, because you deciding what to focus on, what to believe in, and you have a right to do as many rituals and ceremonies, to write as many letters as you need to get your closure and to feel good. And I really wish you to do the best while going through this experience. Thank you so much for listening to me today. I am very grateful, and I will really appreciate if you will share your story or anything in the comments. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next videos.